both are better. So now we'll be evaluating you on your reading, right? And you will be reading from
He had everything a tortoise could want. He had a lovely log to sit on, juicy apples to eat, and a very shiny shell. But he was happy. All day long he saw an eagle in the sky, flying low, flying high. It had golden feathers and great big wings. I wish I could fly, said the tortoise.
you continue a bit more because we didn't understand.
Keep reading.
Keep reading. We'll tell you when to stop.
He climbed onto a rock, jumped into the air, and followed onto his belly off. He climbed up a tree, jumped into the air, and landed flat in a purple grass. He called to the eagle, "Will you take me to the sky? I want to be like you. What will you give me?" The eagle said, "You can have my log and my apples." "Very well," said the eagle. "I will take you into the sky." Up and up, my eagle rose, up through the clouds to the bright blue sky. Hold on. Tortoise looked at the ground. It was a very long way down. He felt dizzy. "Eagle," he said, "I don't like up here. Please take me back." So the eagle took the tortoise back to the ground. "Little tortoise," said the eagle, "you have no feathers and no wings. You are not made for flying. Keep your apples in your log." The tortoise smiled. He watched the eagle go. He ate his apples. He sat on his log, and he no longer wanted to fly. Finished.
Thank you.
On tortoise, he had everything but the tortoise need. Always he see an eagle flying, flying high, flying low. The tortoise said, "I will try to fly." The tortoise came into the rock, jumped into the air, and landed in the bubble. The tortoise called to the eagle. He said to the eagle, "Will you take me into the sky?" "What will you give me?" said the eagle. "You can have my log and my juicy apples." "All right," said the eagle. Eagle take the tortoise into the sky.
And then what happened? Did the tortoise like the sky?
No,
Why the tortoise did not like?
why it is very high. Why it is
The tortoise when it went very high with the eagle.
He said to the eagle, "Please take me back." And the eagle took to the tortoise back.
No, but what happened to the tortoise when the tortoise was very up in the sky?
He was scared.
He was crying.
He was scared.
Scared. Or was he feeling dizzy?
From this.
He was feeling dizzy. Okay, and then what happened? The eagle brought the tortoise down. And then what did the eagle tell to the tortoise?
Yeah, "I don't need your log and your juice apples. Be happy." That was the eagle going. He ate his apples.
And he sat on the log. And then
And
he was happy or not?
he was happy.
Why was the tortoise happy at the end? Because in the beginning the tortoise was very sad because it always wished that I could fly like an eagle. But towards the end of the story, the tortoise comes down and it is happy. Why?
Why up there is very high, is getting better.
Okay, so the tortoise is meant to stay where?
Land,
And the eagle is meant to fly where?
sky.
So What do you learn out of it?
The tortoise can only live on the land, cannot go in the sky, and eagle can land on the sky.
Sky, and it can the eagle come back to the land or not?
Yes,
It can. But what did you learn out of it? Which character you liked and why? You like the eagle or you like the tortoise?
both.
Because when you have to make a choice, which one would you like?
Tortoise.
Why?
But he has a very shiny shell.
It has shiny shell, so you like the tortoise. Eagle also have golden feathers. It's mentioned here, isn't it? Eagle has what? Golden feathers. So, if you're liking the tortoise for the shiny shell, why are you not liking the eagle for the golden feathers?
The tortoise has very shiny shell also and long also.
So it has more things.
Yes, but the eagle had only golden feather and red big wings.
Great big wings. You want to fly like an eagle or not?
Huh?
You want to fly like an eagle or not?
No.
Why?
I like to live in land only.
You like to live in land only. Well, that's why you like tortoise.
Yes.
Okay, so what is the moral of the story? Are you getting me? What do we learn out of the story? Can you think hard? What do we learn out of the story of the eagle and tortoise?
The eagle has feathers to fly. The tortoise don't have feathers to fly.
But what does it mean then? It means that whatever you have to be happy with it. Understood? What does the story teach you?
Whatever you have, you have
Yes.
to be happy with
With
it.
that, we should not see what the other person is having and want to have it. That is very wrong. Okay? But not even wrong, you will be dissatisfied. As the tortoise went up like an eagle, but it was not happy.
Yes.
Got it? And parents, if you have any questions.
So you have mentioned some books names over here. Did you copy them or do you know them? Have you read them really? All the stories? Have you read them? So if I ask you to name any 5 story books from this list, will you be able to tell me?
Yes.
Yes, tell me.
The dragon painter,
Hmm.
the owl and the pussycat, the chilly little penguin, the ant and the grasshopper,
Hmm.
the good bad cat.
Good, bad, yeah. So all these books you read? Hmm? Good. And you have these books at home or did you read from the library?
Did you
I
borrow
read
from
the library.
You borrowed from the library. So do you have any books at home?
Yes.
How many books do you have at home?
4.
You read so many books and you have only 4 books at home. Which are the 4 books? Tell me. You have at home?
The clear mouse,
Hmm.
the Jack and Jill, there are 60 stories.
Hmm.
The 3 wishes, that book also has 3 stories. And the Mickey Mouse one.
Mickey Mouse 1? What does it mean? There's only one story in it. Okay. So now you are done, Darsh, and you have been a very good reader. We like the way you read and understood the thing, and keep reading books, fine? And there are 4 students selected for Read to Principal, and out of that, 2 will be the winners and 2 will be the runner-ups. Okay? So now what else you have to do is, this is your book review form. Okay? Your teacher will help you with the questions, but answers you have to write yourself. Okay? And by the end of today, you need to submit it to Andrew sir.
Okay.
Understood? Any other questions you have? No? Thank you so much. This is for you. You take it and you can just.
No.
No? Sure?
Sure.
This is the list of the books you have read. You read 19 books this year, or it is from last year also?
Last year.
Last year also. So those books are all from your library, or you have your own books?
One is from my own book and another is from my book.
And these all are from library. So you tell your name, spell out your name so that everybody, all the parents can write. Okay. You see your parents here? Where? Turn this side. Now you're happy. Okay. Now in which grade?
I'm in grade 2.
Section?
Section B.
What is the title of the book you're going to read?
My title of the book is The Ant and the Grasshopper.
Who is your English teacher, Muskan?
My English teacher name is Manishuma. Manishuma.
Okay. So today you are going to read The Ant and the Grasshopper to us, and while you are reading, we will evaluate you also, right? How you are reading. So we'll mark you for your rate of accuracy, how well you are reading, how well versed you are. If you are making any mistakes while reading, some marks will be deducted. Okay. We'll also look into your body language, whether you are calm while reading or not, and also the speed with which you are reading. Okay, you should not read very fast, or you should not read very slow. And after you read, you have to retell us what you have read in that book. Okay, whatever you are reading now, that you have to comprehend and tell us back, and we will also ask you a few questions towards the end. Is that okay? You're fine? You start reading and we'll tell you when to stop. Okay, you go a little back. Go a little back, introduce yourself, introduce your book, and then start reading.
The Ant and the
First,
Grasshopper.
introduce yourself, Muskan.
My name is Muskan Joshi. I'm
You
from
can look at
class-
them also. I'm not only here. Okay, yes.
My name is Muskan Joshi. I'm from class 2B. I'm going to read a book. The title of my storybook is The Ant and the Grasshopper. This is a story of an ant and a grasshopper. The grasshopper was very lazy and the ant was very hardworking. Soon, the winter came and the grasshopper had not collected any wood. What happened after that? Did the grasshopper get any wood? Let us read the story and find out. This is a very old story. Once upon a time, there was a grasshopper. This grasshopper never wanted to work. He was very, very lazy. The grasshopper spent all his time singing and dancing. He sang, jumped over the rocks and danced between the trees, while everyone else worked. This grasshopper also had a neighbor. His neighbor was an ant. Now, this ant was very hardworking. He was always worried about the future. The ant was very, very responsible. While the grasshopper played, the ant worked very hard. It was the summer season. Everybody knew that in the winters, all the plants would be covered with the snow, and because of the snow, there would not be food during the whole of winters. So, everybody worked and collected food during the summer. The worms, the sparrows, the snails, the butterflies, the bees, and all the other animals and insects worked hard the whole day and collect food. But the grasshopper sang and played with the bees and the butterflies. He ran on the leaves and swam in the river. He enjoyed the summer a lot. The winter arrived. The nights became colder and colder. All the animals started spending their time inside their houses. Then it started snowing. It snowed and snowed for days. The snow covered all the places, all the plants were also covered with snow. There was nothing to eat. Now, the grasshopper had not been ready for this. The grasshopper was very hungry. He went outside to look for food, but he found nothing. Then he looked inside all his cupboards, but all his cupboards were also empty. The grasshopper thought for a long time and then remembered that the ant had been working very hard during the summer. Then the grasshopper thought, I should go and ask the ant for food. He had collected a lot of food during the summer. I'm sure he will help me. Thinking this, the grasshopper went to the ant's house. He knocked on the door. The ant came out and said, Hello, Mr. Grasshopper. How can I help you? The grasshopper said, Dear Mr. Ant, I am very hungry. Please can you lend me some food? The ant did not say a word. The grasshopper then said, Please, I will pay you back the next summer. When the ant heard this, said, I'm sorry, Mr. Grasshopper, I cannot give you any food. What were you doing during the entire summer? The grasshopper said, I was singing. The ant got angry and said, Well then now, you can dance. And saying this, the ant withdrew. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Khan. Can you retell me what you have read here just now?
I have read this from this story. We should be helpful. We should work hard and think for our future also.
And who tells you that we should think for our future?
My mother tells because in the storybook there is writing the ants think for the future.
Okay. So can you retell us the whole story?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Once upon a time there was an ant, a grasshopper. The grasshopper was very lazy, and the grasshopper had a neighbor also. And his neighbor was an ant. The ant was very responsible, and when the summer came, the grasshopper was very hungry. Then he goes to the ant's house and he knocked at the door. Then the ant tells, Hello, Mr. Grasshopper, how can I help you? Then the grasshopper said, I'm very hungry. I want food. Can you lend me some food? The ant did not say a word. And the grasshopper said, Please, I will pay you back next summer. But the ant said, Sorry, Mr. Grasshopper, I cannot give you a food. What were you doing in the entire of the summer? The grasshopper said, I was singing. The ant got angry and said, Then now you can dance. Saying this, the ant rose up. Thank you.
Okay, so here we came to know that during the summer the grasshopper was busy with some other creatures. Do you recollect what creatures were they with whom the grasshopper was singing and playing?
When the grasshopper was singing and playing, all the animals was collecting the food.
No, the grasshopper was singing and playing with whom?
An ant.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I'm sure the grasshopper was singing and playing with the ant because the ant was busy in collecting its own food.
No.
So it was playing with whom?
He was playing on his own because he was singing and dancing, and all the animals was collecting food.
It was the only creature, and I think it was bees and butterflies.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yes.
I remember. So why they have used creatures like bees and butterflies for flying and singing? What does it indicate? Have you seen butterflies?
Yes, ma'am.
Where?
It flies on the sky, and I have seen it in the home.
in your home also, butterflies come, you have a garden,
Yes, ma'am.
and then you see butterflies coming. So what do they want to indicate us?
Because they, sorry, ma'am, I'm not there.
What do, when they are, the author uses that the grasshopper was singing and playing with the butterflies and the bees, whereas the animals were working, right?
Yes.
So what does it indicate?
It indicates that
Mhm.
we should be helpful
Mhm.
because all the animals had walked, but the grasshopper had not.
So the grasshopper was searching something in its home for food. Where was it searching?
It was not searching, but in the winter he was searching.
When it was already winter, the grasshopper was in its home
Yes.
and there was no food to eat. Okay, so the grasshopper was trying hard at home to look for the food. Where was the grasshopper looking for the food?
He
In
was
his home.
he was looking in his cupboard.
Okay, so and the cupboards were full with food.
No,
It was what?
it was empty.
It was
Empty.
empty. Yes, empty.
So these books you covered which year? Class 1 and? You started reading all these books from which class did you start reading?
I have read these books in class 2 also, class 1 also.
Class 1 and LKG, UKG, you started reading from which standard?
No,
onward?
I'm
You
not
didn't
in
read any
school.
books? You were not in the school. Which school were you studying before?
Montessori kids.
Okay, you joined which year? DAV, which year did you join? In class 1 or class 2?
Class 1.
You joined in class 1. So can you name some books that you have read from this list?
Boba and his 3 wishes. Barbie, I can be a horse rider. The ant and the grasshopper. The wind and the sun. The helpful tree, etc.
So you have read all these books.
Yes.
And do you have any books at home?
Yes, ma'am. Barbie, I can be a horse rider. Aladdin, Sleeping Beauty, and the Red Riding Hood, and Goldilocks and the 3 wishes.
So how do you have kept that books in home properly?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you read more? You want more books? Do you often ask your parent for books? You don't care about the books.
I want to.
So every time you ask your parents for your books to read at home? Good. And I'm not man. Pardon me, man.
So parents, if they have any questions.
Any questions from the parents, please? Anything you can ask them. Doesn't have to be related to book. Anything you want to talk about.
So Miss, can I have one more question? Like how do you manage your time when you read so many books? What about your course books?
Sorry, ma'am.
How do you manage your time? Because you're reading so many other books, right?
At what time you read?
Yeah, and then you have to
How
read
do you
your
read?
course books also. So how do you plan your time?
In the free time I read.
And how do you define free time? What time to what time is free time?
Because on Saturday I read.
Okay, Saturday is your free time. And other days you don't read, it means?
In the night,
What time you go to bed?
8,
Till what time you read your book?
7:30.
7:30 to 8, every day you have a habit of reading the books. That's good. Okay, now this is your book review form. Fine. Can you spell it out? So that we can...
B-I-G-A-N.
Okay, begin what?
Man.
Okay, what is your grade?
3.
Section
C.
C. What is the title of the book you are going to read to
Jack
us?
and the Beanstalk.
Jack
And the
and the
Beanstalk.
Windstorm.
Beanstalk.
Beanstalk.
Okay, Beanstalk. Now you tell me you have submitted that you have read around 23 books, right?
Yes.
So all these books you read during this year or it is your previous reading also?
One previous sentence.
From which class you started reading? Class 2. Do you remember the first book you have read? Is that book mentioned over here? No? So how do you forget the first book you read? You read The Ugly Duckling also?
Yes, ma'am.
What is there in that?
Ma'am, there will be one duck, then duck want to swim, and children will scare the duck.
Why they were scared of the duck?
Ma'am, they don't like this such.
Why they didn't like the duck?
Keep it book down.
Sorry, ma'am, I didn't.
You don't know, but you read the book. You should remember when you read the books. Anyway, so today you're going to read the Jack and the Beanstalk. Why are you choosing this particular book to read?
Ma'am, I like this one.
Why but?
Ma'am, it is interesting.
What makes this book interesting?
One boy will climb to beanstalk and there will be a grass in the entrance.
How many characters are there in the book?
5 main characters.
5 main characters.
A poor widow, Jack,
Hmm.
an old man,
Hmm.
a youth of grace,
Hmm.
the ark.
Okay. So now this looks like a big book. So what you do for us is you read from page number 1 to page number 8. If we want, we'll tell you to continue. Okay, after 8 you stop, and if you want, we'll tell you to continue. If not, then we will stop there only. Now, while you are reading this book, we are evaluating you on this indicators. Right? We will evaluate you on your rate of accuracy, if you are making any mistakes, also your body language, also the speed with which you are reading. You are not supposed to read too fast or too slow. And after reading, we do have to retell us what you have read in your own words. Fine? And we'll also ask you some questions. Is that clear? Now you take this book, hold a little back, see to it that everybody hears it. Right? The teachers are also sitting behind, so they should also have to hear. So push little back.
Take 2 steps back.
Take 2 steps.
Yes. So you can start.
Jack and the Beanstalk. Once there lived a poor widow with her son Jack and a cow called Milky White. She sold the cow's milk to earn her living. One morning, Milky White stopped giving any milk. "What shall we do now?" said the widow to herself. Finding no other way, she decided to sell the cow. The widow called Jack and said to him, "Son, go to the market and sell Milky White." As Jack headed towards the market with Milky White, he met an old man. "Where are you off to, my dear boy?" asked the old man. "I am going to the market to sell my cow," replied Jack. "Would you like to sell the cow to me in exchange of magical beads?" asked the old man. The old man then pulled out some strange-looking beans from his pocket and said, "If you sow these beans at night, a tree will shoot up to the sky by the next morning," said the old man. "Is that so?" cried Jack with surprise. Without a second thought, Jack stole for the magical beans. Jack returned home with the magical beans. How much money did you get for the cow, son?" asked his mother. Jack eagerly told her all about the strange old man and the magical beans that he had given. When his mother heard this, she was furious. "What use are these beans to us, you silly boy?" shouted his mother and threw the beans out of the window angrily. "Go to your room at once. You won't get any supper tonight," she added. Jack felt sorry for what he had done and went to his room. The next morning when Jack woke up, he saw that his room hardly had any sunlight. He rushed to the window to see what had blocked the sunlight. There was the bean which his mother had thrown outside had grown into a huge beanstalk. The old man was right. The beanstalk don't reach up to the sky, said Jack, amazed. Jack said to himself, I must climb the beanstalk and see what lies at the top. He began climbing and continued till he reached the top. He was surprised when he saw a big castle high up in the sky. What a huge castle, he said to himself.
Can you retell me what you have read and understood out of it?
No, I have read this.
Before also?
Yes.
But now you just tell me what is the content of the page number 1 to page number 8 only. What have you understood out of it? You read this page, you read page number 1 to page number 8, right? And now you tell me what is written over here in page number 1 to page number 8.
Once there lived a poor widow with her son Jack and a cow called Milky White. Milky White.
And what happens after that?
Then the cow stopped giving any milk. Then his mother decided to sell the cow, and she called Jack and told, son, go to the market and sell Milky White. As Jack headed towards the market with Milky White, he met an old man. Where are you off to, my dear boy? Asked the old man.
And Jack said, I'm going to
I'm
market
going to market to
sell
sell my cow. Jack replied. The old man said, you can sell the cow to me in exchange of magical beans.
And then, did Jack sell the cow?
Yes,
And what did he do?
he took the magical beans with him and he showed his mother, and his mother scolded him, telling, what are these beans used for us? She threw the beans out of the window. The next morning when Jack woke up, the sunlight was not in his room.
Okay, the sunlight was blocked.
Yeah,
He wanted to know what blocked the sunlight. So what did he do?
He see outside. When he see outside, there was a huge beanstalk which his mother had thrown out that was blown up to the sky. The old man was right. The beanstalk does reach up to the sky. Jack said, amazed.
Then what did Jack do after that?
Jack said to himself, I must climb the beanstalk and see what does
There is.
there is. Jack started climbing and continued till he reached the top.
And what did he see at the top?
At the entrance of the castle, he see a huge castle in the sky, on the sky. At the entrance of the castle, there was a huge obelisk. Jack said, Madam, please give me something to eat. I am very hungry.
Anything after that you didn't read for us?
No, I agree.
You have read, but now you did not. By coming back to the question, why was the cow called Milky White? What does this indicate?
That's a name. That's a name.
Why that name is given to the cow?
Ma'am, because that cow gives milk, that's why milky white. And that cow's color is white, that's why milky white.
Okay, so you're sure that the cow's color was white.
White and brown.
Brown is mentioned in the book.
Light brown.
Is it mentioned in the book? Or you're imagining it was white and brown?
No, I think.
You think so? Okay. Now, Jack took the magical beans.
Yes.
He went home. His mother was angry.
Yes.
Why was his mother angry?
No, because he did not brought some money. He is bringing just beans.
And the mother wanted to sell the cow and bring some
Money.
money, which Jack failed to do. So she was angry. And out of her anger, what did she do?
She threw the beans out of the window and told, "Go to your room at once. You won't get any supper tonight." She added.
What does supper mean?
Surprise?
Are you sure? Was Jack getting surprises from his mother every day? So what does it mean? Just to think between the lines.
Ma'am, from
It's a new word. So whenever you come across a difficult word while reading, you should refer to a dictionary to understand what does it mean. And the beans were called magical. This is last question. Why magical? Was the old man right to call the beans magical?
yes,
Or how do you know it? How do you prove it?
ma'am, because when the old man did that, it was strange-looking beans, and his mother threw out of the window. And when he woke up next day, the sunlight was blocked, and when he see out of the window, he saw a huge beanstalk.
So that is not going to happen with normal beans, isn't it? With the normal beans, when you throw, they don't grow up into a tree. And the old man mentioned something else about the beans. Do you remember what he said?
These beans will shoot up to the sky
Okay.
at night,
And
and the next morning
it will shoot up to the sky, and then what will be there at the end? Did the old man mention to Jack?
it will shoot up to the sky and
Okay, done. Thank you. Any questions?
I just spell some words. You tell me what is it, okay? SUPPER.
super,
What is it?
super,
HUGE.
you,
Huh?
you,
POOR.
board,
MAGICAL.
magical,
DOES.
doors,
So SUPPER is
super,
supper.
super,
HUGE.
you,
Huge.
you,
Okay?
Huge. He has to be pronounced.
Not huge. POOR.
board,
That is correct. MAGICAL.
magical,
Z. Why is that Z somewhere? Magical.
magical,
Magical. G. Not Z. Not Z. Magical. And DOES.
doors,
Now you're correct. Using those rules, you know. It does. DOES. Okay.
Okay. So, any questions for you? So
Any
you
questions?
read it, spell it out, right? Yes.
Bhumi, BHOOMI, Dhanda, DHANUK,
Your class 4 week section.
F,
Who is the English teacher?
DMF.
What is the title of the book you're going to read?
The elves and the shrine. The elves and the shrine.
Now, why have you chosen this book to read to us?
And because this book has a moral that is we should always work hard at honesty.
Because of the moral you like this book. What does the moral say? That you have to work hard and you have to work honestly. What does honestly mean? Can you give me some examples of honesty? Fine. Can you give me the book? So now, from this book, there are 8 chapters. Which one is your favorite chapter? Chapter 8 is escape. But we want you to read chapter 5, that is the two rivals. Is that okay with you? Okay. So while you are reading this chapter, we are evaluating you. Even parents are evaluating you, your teachers are evaluating you. And we'll be evaluating you on the rubrics of rate of accuracy. Okay, if you're making any errors, then some points will be deducted. Your body language, speed with which you are reading, and you have to be loud so that everybody sitting in this room hears you. Fine? And after you read this chapter 2, you have to tell us in short what have you read in this chapter, what have you understood out of this chapter. Is that clear? And then we'll ask you some questions. Okay? You prepared for it? Fine. So you please open page number 24 and start reading, and go a little behind so that everybody can listen to you.
Chapter 5, The Two Rivals.
Please introduce yourself, your book's name, the chapter, and then start reading.
The Elves and the Shoemaker. Chapter 5, The Two Rivals. Within weeks, business was booming. The shoemaker had plenty of money and very little to do. He was a happy man. The chief shoe seller was not so happy. He had angry customers to deal with. My shoes broke after 3 days. I want my money back. And word had spread about his awful shoes. No one wanted to buy them. One evening, there was a knock at the shoemaker's door. It was the shoe seller. "What can I do for you?" asked the shoemaker. "You are running me out of business," shouted the seller. He picked up one of the shoemaker's new shoes and studied it carefully. "And you can give me back my helpers," he snarled. "What helpers? We don't know what you mean." With a scowl, the shoe seller stormed out of the workshop. The shoemaker and his wife looked at each other. "What do you think is making our shoes?" whispered the shoemaker. "I don't know," said his wife. "But let's find out."
Thank you so much. Can you read one more chapter?
Chapter 6, The Secret Shoemakers. That night, they decided to stay awake and see what happened. They hid behind some coats in a corner of the workshop. Everything was quiet until midnight. 2 little elves rushed in, wearing nothing but rags. They sat down at the table and quickly began to sew. The shoemaker and his wife listened carefully to the elves' chatter. "This is better than making cheap shoes in that rotten attic," said the first elf. "I wish the other elves had escaped as well," said the second. "Never mind," replied the first elf. "If we put that wicked shoe seller out of business, the other elves will be free too," cried the second. "Hurry up, we will be spotted." And it was done. Raced down the street. As the sun began to rise, they finished the last shoe and disappeared through the door. The shoemaker and his wife were optimistic. "I think I am going crazy," said the shoemaker. "Radio really is? That's incredible." His wife nodded. "And it sounds like
Twinkle. Can you retake what I have read? Can you have a look, please? This, what have you read? You just tell us what you have read just now. What did you understand out of it?
Ma'am,
Hmm?
there was a cheap shoe seller
Hmm?
who sold the shoes at cheaper price.
Mhm.
One day there was a knock at the shoemaker's door.
Mhm.
There it was the shoe seller.
Mhm.
He scowled and said, "You are making me out of my business.
Mhm.
I am running out of my business." The shoe seller said, "Give me my helpers back." And the shoemaker and his wife said, "What helpers? We don't understand what you mean." Ma'am, another chapter, they decided to see who was making the shoes for them. And at night they hid behind some books at the corner of the workshop, and they saw two little elves there and heard their chatter also. They said, it is nicer than making shoes in that cheap shoe sellers." And they said, "If we work at here, the other shoe seller will be out of business and the other elves will also be escaped from here." Ma'am, and they listened their chatter. Ma'am, only this one chapter.
So from these two chapters, what do we understand exactly? Did the other shoemaker who was making cheap kind of shoes, and was he forcing somebody to work for him?
Yes, ma'am, he was forcing the elves to work.
And that we come to know how?
Ma'am, because they chattered which each group. Ma'am, the first one said that was the shoemaker said that I think they are forcing the other elves to work.
And what was the idea of the elves? What plan they have made to release other elves?
Ma'am, if they work at the shoemaker's house, then the other shoe seller will be out of their business and the other elves will just
They will be automatically
escape.
escaped. And why people were not happy with this cheap shoemaker shoes?
Ma'am, because his goods were not quality. And it was cheaper, but it was not quality.
How do you know it was not possessing a quality? Is there anything mentioned in the book as such? Are you sure? How do we know that his shoes were not of good quality? Just because he was making the elves work, same elves were working for him, same elves were working for this other shoemaker. So why is it that the other shoemaker's quality was not good? How do we come to know about it? Is there anything mentioned?
Ma'am, because his shoes were very cheap.
Hmm. They used to tear
Ma'am,
before the
because-
time.
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm.
One customer was
What was the customer telling you? That is the answer.
"My shoes broke at 3 days. I need my money back."
Mhm.
And his shoes were very cheap and very badly spun up leather.
That you recollect now. Okay, so this two elves, do you think they must have escaped from the other shoemaker, or they were coming from there to here to work? What is your thought behind it?
And they escaped.
They escaped. How do you know they have escaped?
And because it is mentioned that the other elves came there and asked them, "How did you escape?" Then they said, the shoe seller let us go.
So letting go and escaping is same thing? Does it mean the same thing? Yes or no? It means the same thing. Okay. Fine. Thank you.
So, how many books you have mentioned over there that you have read?
20.
So you remember all the books. So can you name some books that you have read, which is in the list?
Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Cinderella, Rapunzel, Sleeping Beauty.
Okay. Do you have any books at home?
Yes,
How many books do you have at home?
so, 5.
Only 5. class 1 to class 4 you just have only 5 books, and you are so much interested in reading, and you should be having more than that in fact. You have only 5 books or 4 books, you said?
5.
Only 5. So you should be getting more books for
Who
yourself.
bought these 5 books for you? So why your father bought only 5 books? After that you didn't tell him? You told you didn't tell him. You go to which bookshop usually? Do you remember? Do you go to a bookshop?
I don't know anything.
But now you also go so that you can pick up the books what you want to read.
Now you want to read more books? You want to make that